Hello and welcome to the Micro Business Development Program Deep Dive Podcast, hosted by three guys in ties. I'm Tyler Jokinen, Micro Business Counselor and Project Embrace Coordinator.
I'm Adam Annunziata, Business Counselor with Brock Community Action.
And I'm Benton Winrich, Business Counselor with Brock Community Action.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today on the Deep Dive Podcast. We're three guys in ties. We are joined by an excellent and exciting guest star, Shelley Faris from Brock Community Action, and she is going to tell us and educate us all about a fantastic opportunity known as Vermont Match Savings. Shelley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Tyler. Thanks so much for having me join your podcast.
Thank you for joining us. We are excited to have you.
This is my first podcast, so I'm very excited. I want to tell you about the Vermont Match Savings program that's been in Vermont, helping low-income Vermonters invest in their future, build assets, achieve economic independence. For the past 20 years, this has been around. It was originally the Individual Development Account program. Now it's the Vermont Match Savings, and it's an exciting program. If you have $1,000 you want to invest it in an asset for your future, we can double your money. There's not a better deal around for doubling your money.
You could double the money?
Yeah, I say I'm better than a Las Vegas slot machine.
This sounds too good to be true. What are the eligibility criteria?
Okay, so basically you live in Vermont, okay? If you qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit, and again, call to see if you meet the guidelines, because there's some deductions that we factor in, and we look at the whole household for the whole family, so we count all the people in the family, which actually brings that guideline to a higher threshold. So most people do end up qualifying. And again, you have to live in Vermont, and that basically your household is stable enough that you have that extra money that you can save, okay? So if you were trying to achieve a savings of $500 in 12 months, you'd want to be able to get at least $42 a month out of that budget to put into this savings. You would want to contact your local community action to sign up for this program. So you save, you have 2 years to save, but if you're what I call a super saver and can get $1,000 in 1 year, then you can get that match money the 13th month and be on your way with the asset that you want to save for. Do you want to hear what those assets are?
I mean, now this is something that both someone can use personally and for a business, correct?
Absolutely. So when it comes to business, that is probably the number one use most of these account holders use it for. You know, there's a lot of small businesses in Vermont. And again, it's a way to take that $1,000 that you know you're going to invest in your business and turn it into $2,000. And again, it kind of gives you that year of savings to really think about what it is you want to invest that $2,000 in. You know, sometimes that startup money goes quick and you realize a year from now you need to purchase another piece of equipment or certain supplies or get into some advertising or whatever. So it's kind of nice a year after you've started that business, or as you're planning to start that business. Maybe you're planning to start that business in a year. This is a way to really have some funds available to you to get things going also. The other uses for this program is home ownership, which a lot of people find that attractive. The nice thing about this program, until you actually go to withdraw that money, you can change your mind and say, oh, you know what, before I buy that home, I do want to start that business so I have more income and can buy a better house. Or that, oh, I'm going to run a business from home. Now the home I want to buy has a garage or more property or whatever that you might want to use to start that business. So again, you can change your mind. It's nice to have an idea of what you want to spend that money on as you're going through the program, but life has a way of throwing us a curve sometimes, as we all have seen this past year. So until you go to withdraw that money, you can change your mind on what asset you are going to use it for. If you already own a home, you can do this for home repair. So maybe there's a big repair coming up within a year or in a year. Again, you do have to save a minimum of 12 months before you can get the match funds and do your withdrawal. But again, the more you plan ahead in life and think about these things, that money would be available for a home repair. Even if you've already started your business and you've been in self-employed for years, you can join the program to enhance that business. business, to, purchase something else that you need for that business. Post-secondary education for students, and it doesn't matter if you're just getting out of high school. You can actually open your account at 16. I've had juniors in high school open an account, and then by the time they're ready to graduate, they've got their money to start their freshman year. If you've already graduated and you're looking at grad school where there's not a lot of scholarship and grant money available, again, a great way to double your money to go towards your master's or any postgraduate degrees. Job training, same thing. Maybe it's not a 4-year college. Maybe it's a job training. It can be used for that. It can be used for tools. You've got the job, but some jobs are required you need to show up with your own tools or special clothing, work boots or whatever, tool belts, stuff like that. A vehicle. It's been expanded through the Vermont Match Savings to also include purchasing a vehicle and also vehicle repair, which I find kind of difficult in that you have to save for a year before you can fix that car. But again, it's there. So that is another one, vehicle repair, vehicle purchase. I have even on the vehicle purchase, say you're leasing a car and your lease is going to be up in a year and you decide you want to purchase that lease. A lot of people do that. So it could go towards something like that. So as you can see, there's a lot of different assets here the money could be used for. And again, because it's flexible enough for you to change your mind throughout that savings period, there's always going to be something you can use it for when it comes time.
This is just unbelievably exciting and a valuable program. To me, the Vermont Match Savings Program is really like the most well thought out and best bang for the buck of tax dollar usage in the entire state. You are educating people on saving, a lifelong skill that's going to benefit them for their life and generations to come. This is building generational wealth, breaking that poverty cycle, saving money for businesses, for home ownership, ways that increase wealth and really change a person's trajectory in life. Basically, if I'm understanding it right, if I'm income eligible for the program, I can save up to $1,000 over the year, putting in money each month, and you're going to match that at the end of 12 months and double the money?
Exactly. You can save more than $1,000, but I'm only going to match $1,000. I've had folks do that. I literally had a woman save $30,000 in this account. Of course, I could only match her with $1,000, but what a super saver. And I'm glad you brought that up, Tyler, because that's exactly one of the goals of this program and why we require the 12 months of savings is to get you in the habit. Habits are tough to create, especially positive habits. And having people put that $42 a month away each month towards that $500 each year, that's really one of the key components of this program is to get people into that savings habit. Another requirement of the program is the asset-specific training. So again, if you're going to start that business, or even if you've got an existing business, one of the requirements is going to be to meet with one of you fellows to write that business plan or update that business plan as that roadmap to a successful business. So the education is another key component. So it's the savings habit and the education. For home ownership, you would take the home ownership seminar that's online through NeighborWorks or whatever the home ownership program is in your area of Vermont. I know they have different names in different areas. We've created our own workshops and asset-specific education around car buying, home improvement. So for education, typically you're meeting with your academic advisor at whatever college or university you're attending, and we take that as documentation for the asset-specific part of you thinking about your education and how it's getting applied to what that career path is going to be in your future.
For anybody out there who's struggling right now because of COVID and the pandemic, who's now realized the importance of having savings in the bank and having that safety cushion for times of economic downturn that occur. I mean, this has got to be a huge lifeline for individuals that have been just totally devastated. So right now is the time, if you can afford it. This is $42 a month investment. That comes out to $10.50 a week. Yeah. That's all you have to invest. And then she's going to match you. Vermont Match Savings is going to match you with $1,000 in a year. If you are income eligible,
that'd be 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, because $42 will get you to $500 at the end of 12 months. So again, you have 2 years to do the savings. And again, if you're looking for a home ownership or even business, you can save that $500 that first year. That 13th month, I'm going to match that $500. You can start withdrawing on that first $1,000 as you save the second year. If you do have a big sale or some money comes into your life, whatever, through another grant or through a big sale or whatever, put that in that second year. As soon as it's in, it gets matched. There isn't a wait the second year. So again, that's part of the flexibility of the program. If you can get $1,000 in the bank in 1 year, great. Again, $84 a month. That breaks down to $20 a week, right? $21 a week. You can always break it down, and this is what I love to do with money. Break it down into small, biteable sizes, something you can get your head around, you can get your purse around, you can make it happen. If you're always looking at that big picture, it's daunting. So again, finances, whether it's in business or your home budget, break it down into those smaller chunks, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or as your money flows in, and it's more doable. You can make it happen.
Finances can be sort of a daunting and kind of scary thing, especially for new business owners. Along with the service, can they work with you on, sort of larger credit and financial counseling services? Because obviously the saving is a great part, but it's certainly part of financial management. But the overall scope of financial management and really learning to budget is something that's an invaluable resource, not only personally but in business especially.
Exactly, Ben. And so along with that is the third requirement is that there is some financial capability education. Here at Brock, we call them Brock shops, and you go to 5 of them. You can pick your topic. We try to offer a couple, 1 to 2 every month, whether it's on business, on credit repair, credit reports, taxes, household budgeting. I work a lot one-on-one with folks around credit reports, credit repair, and that's important regardless, whether you're just trying to manage your household finances, if you're trying to start a business, if you're going to buy a home, if you're going to buy a car. First thing anybody does is look at that credit report. So absolutely, I'm here every step of the way helping people work on repairing, rebuilding, creating a better score, cleaning up those reports if there's errors, and really getting them to where you want them to be to move forward financially in your life.
Vermont Match Savings has done so much good for so many people over the years. It's been there. I know you've told me stories about people being first-time home buyers, not just first-time home buyers, but first-time home buyers in their whole family, things that are incredibly important that this program has helped individuals accomplish these huge life goals. I know I've worked with businesses writing business plans to withdraw money from Vermont Match Savings, and the combination of the micro business development program and Vermont Match Savings is just phenomenal. You come in, we talk about the business, we come up with a plan, you get introduced to the Vermont Match Savings, you start saving, we build your business plan. The business plan's done 6 months later. 6 months after that, the Vermont Match Savings is done. You're moving into implementation, using that funding, looking for other grant opportunities. It is a reality. That's the biggest thing. If somebody's out there, you don't have anybody that you know is in business, you don't know anybody who's doing well financially, we can be that lifeline to help you get that guidance in business and personal finance. And the Vermont Match Savings Program is just a fantastic opportunity.
Well, one thing I've learned over the years is the more you're organized in your financial life, and whether it's in a business or just your personal household finances, the more you're organized, the less time it takes you to deal with it, and the more efficient and correct you are in taking care of those bills and making sure everything's paid and things are done the way they are, so that it's not costing you more money and late payments or overdrafts or over credit limits, all of those things. Just being a little bit, and it doesn't take a lot to get organized around your money. It really doesn't. Having a home office, a little file system. And when I say home office, it could be something as simple as a cardboard file box and a calculator. Sit down at your kitchen table, there's your home office. But again, it's just that mindset of, because it's one of those topics that we really weren't introduced to at a young age, where we felt competent about it moving forward in our life. And then as an adult, it's hard to get that information. So we're confused about it to some degree. And again, just taking that confusion out of that topic makes it less of a stress in our life, and something that once we're on top of it and dealing with it in an organized, timely fashion, we're more in control and more empowered with our money. It's really an amazing adjustment that happens to people once they really get organized around their finances and feel in control of what's going on with their money in their life. Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up, I know Benton, you brought it up, is around home ownership. I have helped over 40 people get a home, buy a home in the last 20 years through this program in Vermont. That's only in our little corner of Bennington and Rutland, Vermont. So I'd say that's pretty good, and over 200 businesses, well over probably 300 businesses by now. I haven't taken up my latest tally, but that's a lot of businesses that have been helped through this program. So according to USDA, first-time home buyer used to mean your name on a deed in the last 3 years. Now, according to USDA, you don't have your name on another deed at the time of your current closing. So they've redefined first-time home buyer for anybody that said, oh, I had a home once and I probably don't qualify. Guess what? If you don't have your name on a deed somewhere, you're in. You're a first-timer again.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today, Shelley. You've been a pleasure to have on. This program is so exciting. I just want anybody out there listening, contact your local community action agency. You got to go to mbdp.org and you got to learn about these opportunities. You have to contact us. Email, phone, it doesn't matter. You got to get a hold of us so that we can help guide you on the path to micro-business ownership and, more importantly, personal financial freedom. Vermont Match Savings is the number one opportunity for you to increase your financial priorities and savings this year. Shelley, thank you. Thank you for sharing this with our client.
Thank you for having me on. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for listening to the Deep Dive Podcast featuring three guys in ties. Hopefully you've learned something from us here today. And if you would like to learn more about our free business counseling, please check us out on the web at www.mbdp.org. mbdp.org. Thank you for listening and we hope to hear from you soon.